excuse how I look. I just got the vaccine yesterday, the second dose, and so I feel like garbage today. But I realized recently that I live in Boston, Massachusetts, which is like the capital of dark academia, light academia, whatever academia. So I was like, wouldn't it be fun if I just went to Concord, Massachusetts and went to every light academia literary spot possible? So I did. So this is Walden Pond. No, you know when like you read something, like you read a poem or a story and then you realize that the place actually exists? I'm so happy right now. Like my inner nerd is like fangirling over a pond. I'm fangirling over a pond. As I walk along the stony shore of the pond in my shirt sleeves, though it is cool as well as cloudy and windy and I see nothing special to attract me, yet, like the lake, my serenity is rippled but not ruffled. These small waves raised by the evening wind are as remote from storm as the smooth, reflecting surface. When I wrote the following pages, or rather the bulk of them, I lived alone, in the woods, a mile from any neighbor, in a house which I had built myself, on the shore of Walden Pond in Concord, Massachusetts. When I return to my house, I find that visitors have been there and left their cards. Those who come rarely to the woods take some little piece of the forest into their hands to play with, by the way, which they leave, either intentionally or accidentally. I could always tell if visitors had called in my absence, either by the bended twigs or grass, or the print of their shoes. So this is essentially a replica of where Thoreau used to live when he was out being all hermity and broody out here in Walden. I feel like Thoreau is like king of cottagecore, honestly. Like, he did it before it was even like popular on TikTok. Like, look at this guy. Like, I would totally just live in a cabin all on my own, like in the middle of nowhere. No, but like I need friends. I'd get lonely. I'm like an ENFP, you know what I mean? Anyway. So this is Orchard House, which is actually Luisa May Alcott's house. If I was fangirling over Walden Pond, I am so fangirling over this house right now. Like, oh my gosh, like Little Women is one of my favorite books. I read it when I was 10 years old. And like, I can't believe that this lady, this legend, this is her house. She just sat here, car. She wrote all about Meg and Joe and Amy and Beth and all the and Lori. Oh.
Joe does use such slang words, observed Amy with a reproving look at the long figure stretched on the rug. Joe immediately sat up, put her hands in her pockets, and began to whistle. Don't, Joe, it's so boyish. That's why I do it. I detest rude, unladylike girls. I hate affected niminy-piminy chits.
So I figured if I am on the lawn of a very famous writer, I might as well just try writing myself. I mean, where else would you get such inspiration?
I'd have a stable full of Arabian steeds, rooms piled with books, and I'd write out of a magic inkstand, so that my works should be as famous as Laurie's music. I want to do something splendid before I go into my castle, something heroic or wonderful that won't be forgotten after I'm dead. I think I shall write books and get rich and famous. That would suit me. So that is my favorite dream.
Amy? Beth? Meg, come on. Joe, be a dear. I mean, I know it's the panini, but like, come on, I'm like halfway vaccinated. Joe, please. Joe! That's so freaky. Blood. That is the creepiest. Is that someone's last name, or did they just put that to freak people out? So this is Nathaniel Hawthorne. He wrote the Easy A. Just kidding. He wrote the Scarlet Letter. Died on the Mississippi River near Vicksburg, July 28th, 1863.
must have served in the Civil War. Thank you for your duty, sir.
If you could believe that, there were Jewish people living in Concord, Massachusetts in 1838. Eliza J. Jacobs. It's actually a tradition on Jewish graves. We actually put stones on their grave because it signifies eternity. So I am going to do that.
What'd you shoot?
It's a literary spots in Boston video.
For whom?
For YouTube.
No kidding.
Yeah,
You doing your own thing?
doing my own thing.
Good for you.
Thank you. You as well.
This is a voiceover because the audio was terrible for this portion. I've honestly wanted to come to Concord since I was 13, ever since I read the series The Mother-Daughter Book Club, which is set in Concord. So I can't believe I was finally able to come here and actually purchase the Mother-Daughter Book Club from the bookshop in town I've heard so much about in the books. I also got the Penderwicks, which is another super cottagecore book that I thought quite fitting to buy from Concord.
My name's Sarah Matias, and yes, I'm the owner of Thoroughly Antiques.
So what made you come up with the idea for opening this really charming place?
So this is run like a co-op. So there are 23 dealers, and everybody has a little space, and they maintain it, and they work here. And I've been here maybe 9 years, and I bought the store 4 years ago. So this is our dealer, Derek. So he just runs this case right here. And this is Etruscan, probably emerald and pearls.
Wow.
It's kind of like a snake.
Do you know what era it's from?
Oh, it's probably like 150 years old. I'm guessing in Etruscan style. Yeah.
That's still pretty
Yeah.
old. Thank you. I've never actually read Mary Poppins before. This is actually Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's inn. Okay, this is not his inn, but he stayed here and it inspired the poem Tales of the Wayside Inn. George Washington stayed here, like a lot of really famous old ancient people stayed here. This is honestly one of the first like product placements, like if you think about like different sites like that you see on Netflix and you're like, oh my god, this is where it was filmed. So people would actually flock to here because it was written about in the poem and people were like, oh my gosh, I want to stay here. One autumn night in Sudbury town, across the meadows bare and brown, the windows of the Wayside Inn gleamed red with firelight through the leaves of woodbine hanging from the eaves. As ancient is this hostelry as any in the land may be, built in the old colonial day when men lived in a grander way with ampler hospitality. A kind of old hobgoblin hall, now somewhat fallen to decay, with weather stains upon the wall, and stairways worn, and crazy doors, and creaking and uneven floors, and chimneys huge, and tiled, and tall.
Ooh, look, it's a bona fide chamber pot.
Actually, that's kind of gross. Let's unzoom that.
Ooh, what's on the news? Charles Sigourney, James and Thomas Landy. From what era? I cannot read. The history of something something. Oh well, we might never know.
But from the parlor of the inn, a pleasant murmur smote the ear, like water rushing through a weir, oft interrupted by the din of laughter and of loud applause. I heard 93 and I was like, oh, that guy's old. Okay, 13-year-old birthday. I wish people made inns like this. Like, why do people have to modernize everything? You know what I mean? Yes, my name is Ethel and it's 1918 and I'm wearing this mask because it's in the middle of the Spanish flu. Ooh, what is this? Oh my god, I love herbs. Wayside Inn, old barn, farm stand. I guess this used to be the old barn of the place.
So is this barn actually, has it been here since Longfellow's time, or was it like just built now?
I believe it was moved here, but it dates to about the 1830s.
And what's the shop over here now? What do you guys sell here? And
Plants and herbs, gifts, other doodads.
So this is the actual one-room schoolhouse that Mary used to go to with her little lamb. He followed her to school one day, which was against the rules. It made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. And so the teacher turned him out, but still it lingered near and waited patiently about till Mary did appear. And it happened right over here. You know, I used to be a teacher. Welcome, children, welcome to school. Oh, Jedediah, what a nice haircut you got. Come in, come in. Oh, Zachary, you can put the apple on the table, on the desk. Thank you. Mary, what did I say about bringing lambs to school? Put them away. They're not allowed. Molly, stop sniggering. We have our letters to attend to.